Okay, you're recording to your computer.
Let me get rid of this. Okay, we are starting, Marie, go.
Okay, well, I'm
where are
gonna
you?
have Heather introduce, Heather was sort of in charge of the agenda today. So there's two planned speakers, and then there is going to be some sharing. So Heather, do you want to introduce Melanie?
So our first speaker for today is going to be Melanie Hollis, and she is via Zoom for us. And I have to tell you, she is just a rock star. She would not tell you that, but she is such a blessing to our team. She just comes up with all this stuff, and she's like, we should try this and this. And she just she keeps me on board where I need to be. So she was like, what do you think about me training on this? And I thought, you know what? Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone and do things that maybe we wouldn't normally think about. And so I told her I thought it was a great plan. So I'm going to turn it over to Melanie Hollis.
Thanks, Heather. That was so sweet. So today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some network marketing. And of course, with sales, network marketing is very important to us, right? And so we think about our friends and our family and getting outside of our circle with shows. What I'm going to talk about today is just one more way to get you in front of some different people. I don't know if some of you have ever heard, it's called BNI. And what BNI is, it's a network marketing company that's been around for over 30 years. They started in California and they are now global. They have 240,000 members and they have 8,594 global chapters. And so what a chapter is it consists of a team of small business owners in a local area. And they have so many new chapters that are still in the process of forming. So, BNI is a network marketing platform that gathers like-minded small business owners, and it enhances their network marketing skills. So once you decide to join this group, they provide you training. You get 4 to 6 hours of training. You get one-on-one training with a sponsor. And then they meet once a week. Every chapter meets a little bit differently, but most of the time it's 2 hours per week. And then the nice thing about this is they only allow one professional in that area on that particular chapter. So meaning you might have one plumber, one handyman, one signage person, one Pampered Chef rep, one Mary Kay lady, we have a caterer, a realtor, a banker, a mortgage lady. So they're all different areas of small business. And then the purpose of having a team with, one person in each profession is that you're always prepared to know somebody and pass out their information when someone is in need of that type of service. So that's the whole premise of it, is your group of people is who you use to refer out to. You have, once you join their network, your chapter, you get a portfolio with everyone's business cards in it. And then when one of your friends or family or someone needs something, you hand them their business card and, tell them your experience with that person. So I went to my first meeting a few weeks ago and it was really awesome. I went to a visitors meeting and everybody was so nice and so welcoming, and they do stick true to their word. They only had one of, every kind of profession in there. And they told a really moving story. So I won't be able to tell it as good as they did, but just to give you an example of what they talked about. They gave a story of a Mary Kay lady who is doing a facial for a woman, and her husband walks in the middle of the facial, and he's all upset, kind of kicking things around, and the Mary Kay lady kind of starts some small talk with him. and she says something to the effect of, you know, I hope your day goes better or your night goes better. And he says, well, my night would be great if you knew a graphic designer. And she said, oh, I do know a graphic designer. And so she pulled out her portfolio with all the business cards in it, and she handed him the name of the graphic designer that was in her group. And he said, okay, you have this person call me first thing tomorrow morning so that I can talk to him. And she says, okay. So she goes home and she calls this guy and, you know, gives him all the contact information. And the next morning, the graphic designer calls him, gets a job for Walt Disney. Like, for real. I'm a Mary Kay lady.
Oh.
What?
Wow. So it was pretty impactful. So I encourage you guys all to step out of your comfort zone, pull up bni.com, look for, you know, the groups that are in your area. The chapters that are in your area. There may be several. And they also have a Facebook page where they post different information about network marketing and different tips. So that's all I got. Does anybody have any questions?
Would you think about doing something like that informally? Like, even if somebody didn't have a BNI, the whole idea is that small business owners kind of help small business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we should throw it out here. Is anybody on the calls part of a networking group or have done anything with networking groups before? Yes, no? Is there any nodding?
Let me just tell you, with BNI, I actually tried it out. I went to like an introductory class, meeting, last year. And the only reason why I didn't continue with it is because it was like $600 a year to be a part of it.
Oh.
And you can only use, and you had to be at the meetings like every week and maybe only miss one or two. And that was like a commitment. And I'm just not right
Can you
there
send
with
someone? I thought you can send someone in your place.
You can.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, who would I send? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I can send someone from my team, but
Yeah.
how would that work when it's my business?
Right.
And if you're paying,
Well, right.
I don't
So
know.
do you split that? I don't know how
Yeah.
it would really work.
Yeah.
But that was the only drawback that I saw. But honestly, there's a wonderful group of people,
Yeah.
and there's just context like you can do.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
that was expensive too. Yeah.
Chamber.
Yeah.
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 I did that long
Yeah,
time
that
ago.
would. But I mean, like I said, it is a good idea if you are willing to, put up front the cash for it.
Will our professional development award, will Pampered Chef pay any of
I
that
don't
for,
think-
for something like that?
Probably not
No,
that.
but I think the whole point is that sometimes you want to go out of the box
Yeah.
as far as
It's a
like
good try.
promoting your business and being open. Like, many people do vendor fairs, and you meet people
Right.
who are Lulu Rowe, who are Mary Kay, who
Mhm.
are other small business owners. And to have a network of people or a network of friends that you would refer them, they would refer to you, is always good
Mhm.
business practice. So thanks for sharing,
Yeah,
and
Thank
really
you,
appreciate it. And Heather's got, how many of you were at the pre-conference event when Nancy Joe did the presentation about people who do classes in their own home?
Yeah.
Let's see a hand. Okay. Hands are going up around here. So this is kind of a continuation. Heather is going to share, and she wants to share it earlier in the year so that there's a little bit more traction. And Heather had an extremely successful run last year with doing cookie workshops in her house. And so I already sent the documents to Patty. That'll get uploaded to pcteamtraining.com. Remember, Extreme 18 capital E. Where are we with the pre-conference workshops status of those videos and PowerPoints?
I don't know if she did the documents, but I think the videos are up there. So I think the videos are
Are
up
they
there.
in a standalone pre-conference workshop
Oh.
2018?
I'll go look.
Okay.
We'll set more, I'll send a link up.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was on the, I think it's on the front page. I don't know. We'll double check it.
Okay. So, all right. Without further ado, I turn it over to Heather Schaus, and we will have the supporting documents there. Some of you may have some stuff similar to it from last year from Tina Dalton. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, the reason I decided, we're actually at our team training. We are going to be doing this in September. And the reason we thought was I started kind of late last year. I think I started my workshops in November. And I asked my husband, I said, what do you think? You know, just something different that I can actually be at home. And I needed a few more shows on my calendar. And he's like, well, sure, why not try it? Well, then I had such a huge response. So I started doing them in the afternoon, and then I did them in the evening. And I said, do you think I should do more? And he's like, well, if you have people that want to do them, why would you not do them, Heather? And so I'm like, okay. So I want to say I had 5 workshops, and I had some people actually want to come back for a second time. And the reason I'm sharing this too is that sometimes we have to think out of the box, and we have to do something a little bit different. And I had more people that then they used all these products besides what they bought for their workshop kit. And I got a lot of shows. I was telling Marie, I have to go back and count for sure, but I think I got 4 or 5 shows out of doing the workshops. So, and then people would say, well, can we buy something today too? And I'm thinking, well, of course you can. Nobody says you can't buy something. So the first thing that I did just to kind of generate, and I'm just going to hold this up. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it. It was just, I posted this on my Facebook page, and I put like the dates, and basically it was take and bake. So it's not that they're baking them at your house. They're actually taking them home, putting them in the freezer, and you have each person ahead of time. You buy, I do like a workshop kit. Now this year I'm probably going to change it because some people have already been to one, but I did the cookie sheet, the scoop, and then I did one of the mats.
So what was the price point?
I think it was $45 is what I did last year, but I don't know if anything.
Sheet, scoop, and the pastry mat?
No, I just got them the large cutting mat. And the reason for that, when I first did it, because I was trying to go off of what Tina said, but you know, as we all do things, we find what works best for us. So everybody needs the small scoop because everybody has to scoop the cookie the same. Because Marie might make the chocolate and the peanut butter, and Patty might make the mint chocolate chip. Well, everybody has to have them scooped the same. Otherwise, they are not going to bake uniform. Mm-hmm. So, so you have everybody purchase that ahead of time. So you have the commitment. Even if they don't come, they're going to have their, which I have to tell you, everybody came. I did not have anybody that didn't come. But I posted that just first to see what type of interest that they would have. And it said, come to my house for a fun Pampered Chef cookie party. Learn how to make a variety of cookies out of one batch of cookie dough. And I'll tell you, I was a little skeptical because I thought, I'm a homemade baker. You know, I make everything homemade. And so this was all sugar cookie dough. And I can tell you, my family, I did every workshop with the people. I put cookies away. So I had tons of cookies because I'd bake some, you know, when I'd have the next workshop so people could sample them.
So you did have one batch ready for them to eat?
I actually did
after
a few different batches.
And they were frozen. So then that showed them how they tasted frozen.
Right. Oh, no, I baked them. I baked them for them to taste.
But didn't you have the balls frozen?
I did. And my family actually ate them out of the freezer frozen. They looked at the bags and say, I want some of these. Yes.
They ate them frozen.
Oh my gosh. They were so good. You just need a little pick-me-up in the middle of the day. We'd go to the freezer and have a cookie.
Oh my.
Okay. We had a lot of fun with it, but.
Patty, how come she's not on the full screen?
Oh,
okay.
Hold
on a second. There we go.
Okay, so then I said,
when you hold that up again, maybe they'll see it better.
So this just showed like some pictures and stuff of what it was going to look like, you know, when we made them. So then on here, it said on here, pre-order your workshop kit for $45. So really, I wasn't charging them like the cost of the shipping and all that. I think I added like $1 or $2 on that, and I kind of split my orders up and had everything come to me. So everything was washed and ready as everybody came.
Okay, the 45 counted like your food?
No,
costs?
They had to bring that, which I haven't, sorry, I haven't got quite there yet. So I said, if you participate, you leave with a variety of cookie dough balls. It depends on how many people you have. So like if I had, most of them, I had at least 10 people, 12 is a little bit crazy. I think I had 14 at one, and I thought I was going to go crazy because you got to have a spot for everybody, trying to do that.
Yeah.
And you will have people sign up for this that have never made a cookie in their life. Very interesting. I would have never thought that. Yes.
I don't
Ever. Because I was like, okay, they don't even know how they even needed help mixing cookie dough. We're just mixing in the bowl.
And you're just getting the sugar cookie dough like from the
Alrighty
tube.
then.
Yes. So they leave them to freeze. They need a cookie sheet, their small scoop. Maybe I didn't do
And then they did an add-in. They brought an
and then they brought an add-in. So the cool thing about it was they're not baking anything there. So everything they're just going to take it home and they're going to freeze it. Okay. So let me get back to mine.
And you can hold up any of those sheets to the.
Yeah, I didn't have them in my order.
And
So
you sent them to me?
So when to offer it, the prime time is October through December, but I've actually had some people ask me last year, would you start doing them in September? Because October and November, and by the time December hits, I'm so busy. And your cookie dough will freeze almost 9 months. You can have it free, and you would never taste the difference because I tested it. We just used our last batch. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And there was no problem.
What kind of container do you freeze it in?
Ziploc bag.
That's it, really.
That was it.
It's a freezer bag, obviously.
The freezer bag. Yeah, you don't want the thin bags. You
Right,
want the better bags. Okay. So, I guess I didn't realize this, but there's first time attendee kits. So I guess I just did the small scoop and the large sheet pan. I must have just let them use my cutting mats. So scratch that off. It wasn't the cutting mats that they took home. So returning attendees can do a stackable cooling rack and a reversible baking mat. This was something Tina had done. I hadn't done this. Returning attendee, if it was your third time, you could get the cover and storage lid, which I'll tell you, I had those out, and a lot of people purchased those because they wanted to go home with the lid over the top, or the stackable cooling rack. Or you can make your own kit. I had everything shipped to me. I opened, I washed, got everything together, and I actually have pictures on my phone. I didn't think to print those of how I set my stations up, and then I put the
If you
tools.
you have an iPhone? Yes.
Mhm.
If you airdrop them to me, we can get them on the site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
we'll do
because
that
I thought that would be kind of cool to see how.
I would love. I think everybody would
progression.
love that. Sometimes people are visual.
Right. And I am.
Yeah.
So then there's a bunch of cookie flavors, and I will tell you my favorite ones we did: ginger doodles, mint chocolate chip, chocolate mint, chips off the old block, the cinnamon raisin, the toffee. And this one I was really surprised about was lemon blueberry. You would not believe the people that do not know how to zest anything. I sold more zesters and had more people excited about putting zest in their food. They'd say, I look at the recipe and I just skip it. I don't really need that. But when they smelled that and then tasted the cookies, they're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. So, you can kind of go through and pick which ones. I didn't do all of them. We did do the caramel apple ones. Those were pretty good too. So I've got that. Well, once somebody would say, okay, Heather, I want to do the workshop, they would of course have to pick which date of the ones that I had set up. And then this will be another thing that we'll send to you, but this was just the email that you would send them. So it would tell them, what date it was, what time they'd need to be there. And then what I told them to bring, depending on the people. Now, I don't have all, like 10 of those stainless steel bowls. And to make up 4 batches of the sugar cookie dough, you need a big bowl. Okay. Batter bowls are not big enough. You'll have it all over the place. So, and yes, I had Tupperware bowls, Rubbermaid bowls, people brought whatever. And I figured that really wasn't what it was about. So I told them to bring a large bowl and a scraper. And then I had scrapers there too. I purchased the wax paper ahead of time. Each person was to pick up 4 tubes or 2.5 in the large, because sometimes you can get, like around Christmas time, you can get the really big rolls. But then I told them, allow it to thaw or to soften 30 to 40 minutes before your workshop, and do not wait till the day of the workshop, because I'll tell you, I had people wait till the day. And if everybody lives in the town you're living in, now you guys are Darien, you got lots of grocery stores. We don't have that many. Walmart had none. So had I not bought stuff ahead of time, people came and said I couldn't buy any cookie dough. So they showed up without cookie dough, but I had bought. So I'm telling them, be sure to purchase it ahead of time when you go out. And the
taste of that cookie dough.
Yeah, I think Walmart probably thought, oh my gosh, this lady comes
You
in
bought
and
it
tries
all
all
wrong.
the-
You should have a case and put it in your freezer.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you put that in your freezer? No,
No, because
Oh, you can't.
not
Yeah.
then you want to refreeze.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's
But you know
true.
what? they have it refrigerated in their cases
Yeah,
for quite
I'm
some
sure.
time. So if
I'm
you're
sure.
doing them for a couple months,
Yeah,
you'll
you'll
be
be
fine. And then
Or
assigned
you could call your store and say, I'm going to be offering this in this area. You might want to get more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. And then, well, the good thing is my son works at Jewel and they had it on sale. So he brought me a bunch home. He's like, Mom, they're on sale. I go pick them up. So, and then ingredients for their assigned cookies. So when I would send them this email, I would have everything that I wanted them to purchase. And then everybody's name went at the bottom of what their add-ins were. So everybody
they didn't
knew
have a
what
choice.
They did not.
Okay, which is okay, because then they
And then
had
did
a
you
little
find
taste of
people don't
everything.
show up with their ingredient?
I had a
And how that
few,
goes?
but I made sure I had everything so
Yeah.
that if somebody didn't,
Yeah.
but
So 10 people at $45 each. Prior to the event, you submitted a $400 show. And then what was your results each show? How much additional sales did you generate?
each show was a little bit different. There were a couple of them that I'd say I probably didn't get the sales there because one of them, 2 people booked, so they weren't going to buy anything. And then a couple of ladies had just had shows. So, but I'd say on average, I suppose like another at least $300.
Wow.
So
That's still pretty
technically
good,
then each
700
show
and-
ended
yeah.
up being 700
Yeah.
and
on
then
average.
bookings.
Yeah.
Right. Because
And
people, I
Did
would
you have catalogs out for them and
I
make it
did.
like this is
I told them they were not obligated to purchase anything.
Right.
This was just to be a
Right.
fun time to get
Right.
together and help them to stock their freezer. But if there was something that they saw that they wanted,
I like
I
it.
was happy to take orders. And then I did feed everybody. So I made, like when it was lunchtime, I had, a Pampered Chef recipe that was in the Rock Crock.
Okay.
I would let them take a break. I would let everybody eat, so that let me talk
that's-
about some other
Mhm.
products
that
too.
help bookings and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
how many cookies per tube will you get out of it using the small scoop?
It depends. Everybody scoops a
Yeah.
little bit differently, I will tell you. So you end up having to count them. But let's say if you have, on average, you get 12 dozen. I had 10 people. So there was at least 12 dozen
Per
Per person?
person.
Okay,
That
so
is
4
awesome.
tubes.
One of the things that I love about this, because we've done it before, it's not a new idea, and we've done it before, is that because you have frozen cookie dough, you can have fresh cookies all holiday season. You're having somebody come over, you grab a dozen, and instead of
Just bake
having
'em.
all chocolate chip,
Right.
you have a variety, and you have fresh, warm cookies to serve. And, or you want to make up a dozen or 2 to take to work. You still want to have
Friends
some
gifts,
friends gifts. I mean, I think it's like brilliant.
Yeah.
And you're kind of doing kind of like almost like a quilting bee or something. And,
Yeah.
I also think it was very smart that you had appetizer kind of food
Yeah.
or soup. or
And she
other
started
things.
early. Like that was brilliant. Now you're starting even earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a great consultant meeting,
Yeah.
when you're doing
Yeah.
recipe nights, that we do it with our
Yeah.
consultants.
So
So,
that they can get
to
an
teach
idea.
the whole thing, and then they can go on to offer it.
So they brought how many things of cookie dough?
4.
And they went home with 12 dozen cookies.
Correct.
And what I did when everybody scooped them, because the first thing from all the instructions I had read, I thought everybody would scoop them on their cookie sheet. That's why I started using the mats. I had everybody scoop it on their mat, and when you filled up, the first layer, then we put a piece of wax paper, and they continued on. The reason for that, when you had everybody, okay, so everybody's got all their cookies scooped and we're all done with that. Everybody needs to take them home. I had each person walk to each station and they put the cookies on their cookie sheet, and then we would put wax paper between them so that they take their cookie sheet home, put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Then all their cookies would be lined up together. They could put them in a cookie bag and they could label them. So, say you wanted to bring them somewhere and you wanted, maybe 6 mint and 6 peanut butter, you could, because they were all scooped the same, it's the same mixture, just different add-ins. They all baked the exact same temperature, the exact same time. So you could have a whole plate of different cookies.
I wouldn't have anywhere to put it.
So you wouldn't
your freezer?
bring the Ziploc
Yeah,
bags to
it's
the
like
workshop
No.
and have them put it in there?
I
because
didn't have a place for everybody to put their cookie dough in to freeze.
Yeah.
Okay,
So they had to
So-
bring it home.
They had to bring it home and put it
So
in their
that makes
freezer.
more sense. So everybody scooped their dough onto their mat,
Mhm.
and then everybody took their cookie sheet around and put their cookie balls from everybody else on their own sheet.
Correct. And then I had a little sheet that if they wanted, I did 2 different ones.
So you have baking instructions here. This
Yep.
is also one of the documents. So
they
then
could
it
put
goes
in.
home with people, baking instructions.
Because I had some people say, can I mix and match and, give it to somebody like as a Christmas gift?
Mm-hmm.
So some people did that, and I said, well, then you would want the instructions, but
Yeah.
still bag them separate. Because, if
Oh,
you had
yeah.
the mint ones, you wouldn't want those next to the chocolate chip because they would taste like
Yeah.
mint.
Chocolate mint chip.
And if they
Yeah.
don't have freezer space, like I don't have space to put
Yeah,
a cookie sheet, then, could you suggest they bring like freezer bags?
They're going to all stick together.
They will?
You need them to set up for about
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
But you know what? If all you have is one tray to put in there, most people can put it. It doesn't take that much room, and it's just a very short amount of time.
Okay.
And once
Do you know
they
what I mean?
freeze, you can take them out and put them in the
Right.
bag.
But if you take them out when they're soft and everybody's had it out and you've been rolling them and all that, you're going to have a massive.
Okay. And did you, this is goofy, but did you have anybody say they didn't want this type of cookie, or they all took all of them? It wasn't a choice. Because it's not fair then.
Right.
How many different kinds of cookies do you offer?
You know what? It depended on how many
10.
people.
There's 10 people, so there'd be 10 varieties.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes I didn't do 10. Like if I knew there was one that was a really popular one that I thought people might want 2 dozen, like of the chocolate chip and the peanut butter, I gave 2 people that, or you know what I mean? The more,
Yeah.
the ones that everybody really liked.
Did
So
they
for
wear-
6 people, you just have 6 different kinds.
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you do gloves?
I did. And I made everybody wash their hands before I let them do anything.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you could do gloves if you wanted to, but we didn't.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So all these documents will be on PC Team Training.
Thank you.
And the
That was
PDFs are called Take and Bake Cookie Workshop, cooking instructions, and what was the third? How to is the third document. So you'll see those there. Now, just this past week, Patty and I were doing a mega party with our team. She ran hers and we ran ours, and it was called Real Food Real Fast. And we did it a little bit differently, but a lot the same. So on our end, there were 4 different people. And what the whole point of it was how to make a quick, fast, easy dinner. And so we got 4 directors. And then we had sort of additional directors who were paired up with somebody who came in that day to share either their testimony or a little tip with their favorite product. So people saw 2 directors each day. So technically there was about 7 or 8 of us on the show. When it was your day, you did the posts and you went Facebook Live twice. Once in the morning, introducing yourself as chef of the day, and then with a little bit about you and how you were going to make dinner that night. So my night, I used the 12-inch stainless steel skillet, and I made a zesty ravioli skillet, which was a stovetop thing.
So was this all virtually you're
Yes,
talking?
it's a virtual
Oh,
mega
okay.
party.
Yeah.
And the Sue Myers did the barbecue ribs in her Rock slow cooker. Anna Jumis used her grill pan and press and made a main course salad. And Diana McDermott was using her spiralizer and the new pasta maker to talk about like some easy, quick, fresh. So the whole idea was real food, real fast, and we each approached dinner differently. So the people who were invited to it got to see 4 different ways of putting a dinner together that was going to be in less than 25 minutes, and it was pretty cool. And they saw different people who do Pampered Chef. So some of the residual effects also are that new consultants were getting trained. So it was almost like kitchen show training for everybody, because they got to see 4 different people and their style and the tips and the things that they would share with them. So for me, that was like on top added benefit. And because we were working together, there was this feeling of camaraderie. And that's my coffee pot. It's telling you that
I'm done.
it's done. So I thought it was a win-win-win. And we've been brainstorming other ways to do a mega virtual party with different themes like cookie baking, holiday baking, Thanksgiving dinner, soups and stews. And again, because I think the dilemma of what is for dinner is a big one. Patty, do you want to speak? I know you did a little bit differently.
Yeah, we did it a little bit different. Had I listened to Sue, I would have totally did it that way because we did have people go live in the group, and we did have Judy, I think, did the Tuscan spaghetti chicken, and Patty did something. What the heck? Tennille did. She did a version of a breakfast. She did the grilled cinnamon rolls, so she did the double burner grill pan, and it was good, but I had to do all the posting. So I will tell you this.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience here, because I did that. We ran one of these in June, and I did one, but I did all the posts.
Right.
So I did not realize that when I presented it to my directors, I did it where I said, do you guys want to run with this? But all they had to do was go live.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. It was a smart thing. And I think that was Sue's thing about, right, Marie? Wasn't that that was Sue's thing. She said, they controlled the post for the day, which totally would have made sense.
We all had to be admins on there.
Right. That. So the directors had to be admins, but they had to be admins because they had to add their team members that wanted to.
So you added all of your team members, and then your team members
wanted to
people?
Participate.
Okay, and then they got to invite how many people? Was it
so up to 25?
Oh.
We did 25,
okay.
And pretty much everybody did about 25.
Well, it was you can invite 25 people and have a show of your own,
or
you can have up to 3 hosts, and they could have 25 people. Limited to 25 guests in their show.
You could ran a show with the host.
Right.
So technically, each person could have had 100.
Which is another great idea.
They could have had
They
100
could have
guests.
hosted while they
So
were
did you do it as a group, or did you do
group?
it
Absolutely a group.
For the mega show?
Yes.
Yeah, we did it. Right. We did it as a group. So I think you guys had 700 and something people join. And I think we had like close to 700 is what it wound up to be. But I kind of promoted it to my team. So I had a little document because people did not know what to do. And if you are not friends with the consultant, you cannot add them to the group. But you do have to get their permission to be added to the group. And then there was they could reach out to people, but we actually had a post of what they could say to reach out to people. Like, we're running this big mega show. Would you love to join us? So it was good. The one thing that I will say about a mega show, as opposed to just doing a show on your own, is the engagement is off the charts. It is off the charts. I mean, we had so many people commenting on posts, and people that were, when they went live, there was lots of interaction. In fact, Patty said, go live with me. So I was live in her live, so that I could read the comments to her in case I was like, oh my God, that was like brilliant.
Oh my God, that is brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, she was the last person. So, you learn, what I mean? You learn from,
How do you
repeat
go
that,
live?
and people don't know.
So 2 people can go live. All has to be done on the phone. So I had my computer in front of me so that I could read the comments, but I went live in her live. So you can request to join her live, and it's one person. You guys did not, this is not new.
No, but I wasn't thinking about the second person reading the comments.
Yeah, which was brilliant. I was like, oh my God.
And
she was the last person to go live. So I was like, well, that's stupid. I should have thought of that before, but so that was good. I'm trying to think of anything else that could have been different. So I will say this: SynShare. It's not even SynShare's fault. I use SynShare, but Facebook is the one that is struggling with, or not struggling. They're the ones creating these rules. So when you can't add more than one post.
Right. This is a new picture.
You can't add more than one picture, but you can. So it's not even a workaround, but you would go in as your business page. So you have to link it to your business page. the group, if you linked it to your business page, and then you have to go back into CinchShare and you have to refresh your networks, and then you have to add that
Okay, I
as
can't do it.
yourself. I'll show you later. It's, I
Okay.
won't even, yeah. So that's how you have to do that. So that was one of the things that I was like, because my stuff wasn't posting. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh crap, I couldn't do that, you know? And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. So there was. When you put a YouTube video in there, it doesn't look the same as when you put just download a video.
Like yourself, you mean?
Well, not even yourself. No, just the
Any
YouTubes, like the
home
minute
office
YouTubes
one,
from
yeah.
the home office, or the
Right.
less than a minute ones, which it looks so different when you do it that way. And then it's pretty much like on autoplay. So they automatically start to play. And it
after
looks,
that.
the visual kind of, it actually looks different as well. So that's the
Is
only
it,
thing.
would you say the downloaded from company looked better than a YouTube?
Yes.
But
I'll
the
show it to you.
YouTube Pampered Chef ones too.
Yes. No. Oh yeah. Because YouTube comes up YouTube. YouTube and Facebook
can
are
you-
not, they don't like each other.
Can
But
you
I-
screen share to show
Yeah.
everybody?
So the other thing, the workaround that you can do, this is another one, is if you wanted to schedule out posts within your group, you can do that
Right,
You can
on Facebook.
on Facebook.
Right,
So
that's what a lot of people are
right.
doing now.
that's what people are doing now.
Only in groups, so not events.
Not events.
I like groups anyway. so
I like groups.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn the whole group.
They
thing.
do
it's-
move around
I like
a lot.
it better.
And one of the other tips that I will definitely say is when you post a picture, and I learned this from some other direct selling person or whatever, of like when you say discontinued items and they see a JPEG of a picture of all of
Teeny.
this, it's a teeny picture. People cannot see it. You can create an album in either on your, I think you can actually create an album.
On your phone.
Well, I created it on my business page, or you can create it within the group. So you can create, so every picture, but I didn't post everything because everything, there was a lot of restyled. So I
Right.
posted things like, so I had a full picture of like the Easy Accent Decorator, of the mitt, of the rimmer, the whatever, some of the things. So instead of using this little JPEG that people would probably just scroll by, because people don't even, I think the average time that people watch a video is like less than 10 seconds, unless you're fully engaged. That's why it is so
Wow.
important when you go live,
It's short.
you should not wait. Number one, to go live, you should start talking. People go, I'm going to wait for some people to
I
come
know,
on.
I don't like that.
Right. So the other thing is that you could just say, hey, just let me know if you're a replay viewer. They can go back and watch it,
Right.
but you should start it because otherwise people are like, they're moving on to something else.
Well, like Caprice is awesome, but she's got like
Who's that?
Caprice Pennington on my downline.
Oh, okay.
And she does all these videos and they're great, but they're 25 to
I know.
45, 50
And
minutes.
some of them are.
And people watch, I'm shocked that people watch them.
I know. Well, you don't know.
I
It
turn
says
it off,
views,
'cause
but
I'm
you
like,
don't
what?
know if they're watching the whole video. You can start viewing it, but you don't know if they're watching the whole video.
It'll show up as a view.
But you can, right, but you can, if you are doing it on your business page, there's what's called insights there, and you can actually see how long people will watch your video for.
Because
So there
I
is
think
more
it's way too
in-depth
long.
things that you can actually view on your business page to see if people are watching.
And I
the
like to
video.
say, I mean, it's a couple minutes. Like I love Pampered Chefs because they are short and sweet.
They are. They're under
and
a
they're
minute.
professional. And,
Right, and
yeah.
they do look great. So
So you can make an album from like a JPEG of pictures.
yeah. So let me. You want me to screen share, Marie?
Screen share and tell us again how you set up the
Oh,
album.
wait, hold on.
I'll
Okay,
watch
so
them.
I've got to go into this.
Just
Hold on,
standing
just a
up.
second. Okay. Okay. Oh, here, I'll just go back into there. I'm gonna do that one. Sorry. No, that's okay. You know what? Now I have to see. So let me put this
We'll
on.
bring it back to you so you can
Thank
see it, and
you.
then you can
I can
push it
see.
back when.
Yep. Let me go to my
Are our remote participants still with us?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
did we
think
lose
so.
them?
No, I think they're there. Oh, wait, hold on just a second because I'm going to have to move this over to the side, and then I have to screen share because that would have been good. Share screen. All right, I want to go to this. Share screen. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Can you guys see this? Yep. Okay, so here's what I mean. This is a download of the video as opposed to a YouTube video.
Okay.
How do you so you download
yeah,
it and put it in here?
You download it onto
Yeah.
your own computer.
Right.
Under downloads.
And I don't know if anybody else
And
saw
then you
this.
just attach it as a download?
No, I'll show you. Wait. So
Oops,
I don't
I'm
have.
sorry.
I don't have. There's not one YouTube on here.
So
Oh,
you don't
maybe
put
this
the
is a
YouTube-
Google
You
form.
don't put the YouTube link in there?
I do not.
Okay.
So
Oh,
what I
yeah,
do.
that.
So what I do is actually this. So I'll go to this, and I'll actually go to. Whoops.
A picture.
I'll go to a. Let me see. I'm gonna go to. I'm trying to find a. Here, let me find. I'll just go. Let me see. Double burner grill pan. So I would go to this double burner grill pan. I don't want to really upload it, but that's the video. So I would upload it to.
How do you
Click
upload?
open. I would upload it right directly to the party. Here, I'll do it like this. Watch. I'll do that. Okay. So I can upload it like that, just like that. Okay. It's starting to upload there. Here is your scheduled post. So you can actually go in. Oh, first it's got to download. So give me just a second here.
Can you only schedule posts in the group? You said not in the
I think so. I don't think I only use groups, so I could be totally. Here it is. So once it downloads, you can schedule it, and you can schedule it. I think up to 24 hours. Let me see what it would let me do. So I think 21. Yeah. Let's see if it would let me schedule. Okay. So yep. The video is processing. Along with that, you can go back in and you can make changes. You could actually see the posts that you have. Whoops.
Do you have
Did it
the,
go?
you and Daddy side by side what that looks like?
Hold on.
What's the difference between downloading it or just putting the YouTube link in there?
So a link. Here, let me go to YouTube. I'll go to YouTube.
Does it automatically start
Let's
playing
go.
when they go to that, then if it's downloaded?
Yeah. So like here. Now my sound is not on, but the video, like these are all, oh, this one's not, but there's 2 pictures in there. But that's what it looks like. It gives you a full, okay, as opposed to, let me go to it. I'll go to a YouTube one.
So you can download the
Anything.
video and put pictures at the same time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I did it, just if I go back in. And
If
do
you're
the-
using the,
if you're using, it doesn't
Facebook
matter
post?
either way.
okay.
Either way. So if I wanted to go in here and I wanted to edit this one. So if I go in here to edit this post, I can go to edit. I could add additional, oops. There's Jim. I can go to, and if I wanted to add more things with the grill pan, so here, my stuff comes up. Grill pan and grill press, I could add this. So I could open up that. I could add another photo in there. The 3 looks nice in there. And I could add that picture in there. And then you would go ahead and put your content in there and write it, and then you would save it just like that.
Okay.
And that's what it would look like.
So you can schedule posts, oops, I'm sorry, Mike, directly from Facebook now, as long as it's in a group.
As long as it's in the group that I know of. I don't think you can do
Sherry,
anything else there.
What were you going to say?
I have a question. So the recent thing that we got from like Post My Party, that Facebook wasn't allowing multiple pictures in,
Right.
is that just when you use like Post My Party or Visibly or one of those things? Because you just added 3 things and it looks like it's going to go.
It is.
You were scheduling.
But
from
I'm
Facebook,
scheduling
though.
from Facebook. I'm not scheduling from
Okay.
scheduling from
Since
SitShare, but you can. Do you have, you just have Post My Party, right?
Yeah. So those restrictions are just when you're using that third party scheduler, not when you go right to Facebook.
Yep.
Okay. thanks.
So on here, here's where I can schedule, and these are the ones that I can schedule from as my business page. Your business page will let you schedule, so your business page will let you schedule posts in your group pages. Does that make sense? In your group Facebook groups.
So your personal page doesn't?
Your multiple posts. Your personal page will allow you to post will only allow you to post one picture.
Okay.
But as a if you wanted multiple posts, then you would have to go and do it as your business page.
So if you do it as your business page, then they have to be friends with you on your business page, not
No,
just your personal page.
No, not at all. Because
You
my
don't?
business page is public. So I don't know why they have it set up that way, but they do. So the only thing that I can post in multiple pictures is my business page.
So you have to actually.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
It makes sense, but I'm trying to think. Usually I go to my personal page when I set up my
Like if
groups.
I want it, okay. Let me show you.
I don't
Let
have
me
a
see.
business page anymore. I haven't had for years.
Okay, so if I wanted to, I'm going to go to my history. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I figured it out after. So if I wanted to see what my posts were doing in there, but I'm trying to find one with multiple posts in there. Let me
So Patty, do
see.
you have a business page, a team page, and then a personal page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't do that. I'm just kidding.
I have that.
You know
too,
what?
but
Actually,
use
I
my
didn't
business
figure this
page
out till
that route.
afterwards. But if I wanted to do that, let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, so if I wanted to add multiple posts in here, let me drag and drop some pictures.
So is
in
this,
here.
you're on your business page now?
No, this is SynShare. You have Post My
I
Party.
have Post My Party.
Okay, so this is just like here. If I wanted to drag and drop these in here, let me just throw these in there. And
This
let me
is where
throw
my
this
eyes
in there.
glaze over,
Oh,
and I left for 12.
Oh. Do you do
Okay,
this?
so now I've
Can you
added
do a
3
picture on a
in
picture
here.
of the video?
I can add
Update
multiple
posts.
pictures
These
and stuff,
all
but
don't make
not
sense
using
at
them,
all.
so-
But so it's already. Oh, how do I get rid of this thing here? Why is it making me crazy? No.
Are you guys
Okay.
still able to see her
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah, because she's screen sharing.
So I had
Okay.
3. I had 3 posts in there, but it's set up. And I guess I probably should have showed you how to set that up, huh?
Well, that's okay. I mean,
Okay.
I think the
So here it
takeaway
is. So yes, that I can schedule it, but I have to schedule as me. So in any for multiple pictures. I hope I'm saying that right. So you can't do it anymore in you can't even do it in Post My Party. No.
Mm-mm.
And can you do groups now in Post My Party?
Mhm.
Okay, so you can do groups.
But you can't do events. And I'm trying to get out of, I still have people saying, but I don't want you to do a group. I want you to do an event. And I can't figure out how to tell them, oh no, the group's better because it's going to be better. Do you know what I mean? Easier
Yeah.
for me.
Well, you can schedule.
Well, one way to get around it is instead of an event, instead of a virtual party being something that's 5 days or 4 days, do a cooking, just a live event where
Right.
you have 2 days of people joining it. You do a little cooking segment and you have some stuff afterwards. So then you're not tied, or download one of the best things that I did. I haven't used it all the time, but because I want to redo it. But Blair had suggested to me that I do a video of my 10 favorite things. So your 10 favorite things can change with the season, can change with what you want to focus on. So you have somebody film you doing my favorite things and then make it generic enough that you're not going to shout out a host's name or a certain party or a certain date and just say, you guys were wondering what my top 5 favorite things are. Well, I just want to share this. Or you can maybe do a second one saying, some people were asking about baking, and here's my favorite things that really help me when I'm going to bake cookies. And so then you can have your stocked videos that you could use in multiple parties.
And you could leave those on your computer, and if you want them to look pretty, instead of putting them on YouTube, then you could just download them right into the, to the party, to the.
Would you need to do it through iMovie? Because I know.
No.
No, it would just need to be
Yeah.
on your computer.
It would just need to be on your computer. My videos, if I, like you just saw, all I have to do is search, and then I can pull up pretty much anything with just some keywords.
Because it downloads it to whatever.
Well, you know what I used to do is I used to do a lot of downloads, go right to my downloads. So when I would download them, I would leave them in my downloads, and then I would upload them to YouTube, and then I would delete them. But because I'm keeping them on my computer.
Did you make files or folders?
So they're in my Dropbox. So
Oh.
it's in my Dropbox right now.
Wow, I haven't
but my
used that in so
Dropbox
many
is
years.
huge. You can't, it takes up tons of space. So my
I
Dropbox is
haven't
a
used it in
terabyte.
years.
Yeah, my Dropbox is in terabyte.
So
It's a
these
terabyte.
videos, Marie, you were saying that you're using,
Yeah.
these are for your virtual parties.
Right.
and you'll
Correct.
post this.
Right.
Okay.
But now, so she talked about your 10 favorite things. The other thing that you could do is what I love, and it's on the YouTube
Wanna
training
just-
site.
so that they see you.
Yeah, I have it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what I loved was Linda McGuire's. She does, and it's a quick, I think it's not more than 18 minutes.
And we have it on the training.
It's
site.
on the training site. It's on my YouTube channel, but she does a demo of I don't even know how many
Zucchini.
products. She does it with zucchini, and she does the spiralizer, I think the veggie stripper. What else does she do? The slicer. So she just takes one thing, and she doesn't have to make anything, but she just does a
So when she goes
Right.
live to a virtual
right.
party.
So when she goes live to the virtual party, and it's only 15 or 18 minutes, and that's all it is, because obviously it's timed. But she
Can I
just
ask
does.
another
Yeah.
question?
Mhm.
So when you guys went live in your mega, did
Mhm.
you do 25 minutes of making a particular recipe?
They
Is-
did, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, everybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
did.
mine.
Here.
And you knew that they were, like, you told
Hold
them,
on.
I'm so-and-so's going to go live at this time and
Yeah,
make
they
this.
did a chef
So
of the day.
so in the morning, I introduced myself and said, I'm Marie, and I'm excited to be your chef of the day, and that's what I called myself, the chef of the day.
Which was
And
cute.
tonight, I'm going to be sharing a real easy stovetop zesty ravioli skillet recipe. I'm going to post the recipe and the ingredients. So if you decide to go shopping today, you could purchase these ingredients and cook along with me tonight.
That was a cute
And I
idea.
purposely went live at about 5:15 so that people could then watch me and then make it for dinner or cook along with me. And I was surprised by how many people did say they tried it or they were going to the store, and I shared tips. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do, was to share tips. So anyway, I have something. Do you mind if I transition to girl? Because
absolutely.
we're right at an hour. I'm going to
wow.
transition to
That was
Rachel Hollis. Girl, wash your face.
Gotta say it with
And
attitude, Marie.
Girl, wash your face. So Patty and I did go out to the movie last
Oh my
Monday
God,
night
that was funny.
and
This
watched
is a
her.
movie?
No,
No,
we
it was a
watched her-
documentary.
It was her documentary.
One
Let's
day
just say
documentary.
she could be Sherry. She's our kids' age.
Yeah, she's well
She's
yeah,
our
she
kids'
is
age.
35. I was
And
thinking,
she
yeah, probably
is kind
35.
of like a young, upcoming Tony Robbins.
Oh,
She's
she
just
is,
transitioned
just.
to moving her family to Austin, Texas. So
Yeah,
I'm
she-
like, if we do the Belcony Spring thing,
I know
maybe
we should.
could
Yeah,
like
go.
go
Yeah,
crash her corporate
I know.
office and say hi or something. I don't know. Maybe we can.
maybe they
do
would love
something.
to. Yeah,
But
wouldn't that be cool?
she is more in your face, social media savvy, and there's nothing. I'm going to say this for
She has a whole
some
team
of us
behind her,
old
though.
timers. She's a Tony Robbins. She's a
Yeah, she is.
John Maxwell. She's a Rory Vaden. There is nothing that she's going to tell you that if you've read inspirational books or
Yeah.
motivational books that you haven't heard before. But I want you to listen to what she says about no and going for your goals. So I'm taking this right from her book. And if you just pardon me for a minute, I am going to just read an excerpt, just a page or two. So plenty of people do things to be successful, and what made her different. And she said, why do I believe I'm the one writing this book? She goes, it's simple. Actually, it's not about talent, skill, money, or connections. It's because when they went after their dreams and came up against a roadblock, when they experienced rejection, or when someone or something told them no, they listened. I am successful because I refuse to take no for an answer. I'm successful because I never once believed my dreams were somebody else's to manage. The incredible part of your dreams is nobody gets to tell you how big they can be. When it comes to your dreams, no is not an answer. The word no is not a reason to stop. Instead, think of it as a detour or a yield sign. No means merge with caution. No reminds you to slow down, to reevaluate where you are, and to judge the new position you're in can better prepare you for your destination. In other words, if you can't get through the front door, use the side window. If the window is locked, maybe you slide down the chimney. It doesn't mean you stop. It simply means you change your course and action to make it to your destination.
Yeah.
I realize not everybody looks at it the way I do. I have to shift your perception of the word no. What if life isn't happening to you? What if all the hard stuff, the amazing stuff, the love, the joy, the hope, the fear, the weird stuff, the funny stuff, the stuff takes you so low you're lying on the floor crying and thinking, how did I get here? What if none of that is happening to you? What if all of it is happening for you? It's all about perception. You don't see things as they are. You see things through the lens of what you think and feel and believe, and perception is a reality. Every single part of your life, your gratitude, the way you manage stress, how kind you are to others, how happy you are, can be changed by a shift in your perception. I'm just going to focus on your dreams, she says. Let's talk about the goals you have for your life. And I think a lot of us probably have our own goals, how big we want to grow our team, what trip we want to earn, what our paycheck should be at the end of the month, what kind of life we want to live, what we want to do for or with our family. Focus on a specific dream, she says. Get out a piece of paper, write it down, maybe even write down 10 dreams. Keep writing until the truth comes out. And how many times have we heard that? You just keep writing and writing. And
write 25 things. Write 50
John Maxwell,
things,
a lot of people have it. And then when you have your dream, she says, maybe it's been a long time since you've looked at it. So anyway, some people quit because a voice of authority tells them to. Maybe your first boss told you weren't right. Or maybe there's fear. Maybe the voice is your own. But she goes on and says, then she turns into like Tony Robbins and she gets all out there. And she talks about how nobody would print her book and how she ended up looking up and Googling how to be a self-publisher. And then, so anyway,
she's my hero.
What pages of the book was that?
Oh, I started at 58. I skipped a lot, but I kept going. But the thing is, she says, it's only you. You choose to get off the couch or stay on the couch. You choose to get up and run a mile or not. You choose to get up an hour early and work for an hour at your dreams. That the people who've succeeded have succeeded not because they're different than anybody else. They work harder and they're persistent. And what you don't know, you learn. You know, be willing to read, be willing to learn. And then again, she emphasizes you are who you surround yourself with, because your friends are either going to lift you up or drag you down. And if you're the most positive person in the group, you're in the wrong group. If you're the most successful person in the group, you're in the wrong group. You know, that it really is a choice. So a lot of people have an accountability group. They have a friend in the business. They reach out above and beyond the borders of our organization or our team. And it truly is, you know, like for some people, is it worth it to work at your dream? Well, we only have one life to live. So only you can determine, you know, if you're going to go for it and what it will be and what is enough and what it is. So, and I saw, this is just sort of detouring, but it's the way my brain goes. There's somebody on our team, Diana Murick, who was diagnosed recently with cancer, and she had posted something about like, you don't beat cancer, you live with cancer. How many people get a diagnosis of diabetes or high blood pressure or a different condition? You learn to live with it. So, you know, even perceptions of your life and the struggles that you have, it's not that you're overcoming anything and that life has dealt you a bad hand. It's like learning to live with what you've been dealt with, even if it's hard. And so anyway, she's pretty incredible, and she's young enough to be my child. And I'm reading her book and going, she has published a couple books. She's got this empire going, and she's surrounding herself with good help. So that's my tip that I had to share.
So wait, just one more thing is, well, I just wanted to say this about her. Your water. Oh yeah, I know. We don't want to do that. Okay. So if you are a Audible person, I heard that her book on Audible is because she reads the book. I did not download that, and I'm like, I should just download it. I did buy the book on Target. It was on sale, but or I did buy the book at Target, but I picked it up at the store. So I ordered it online and I just picked it up. But yeah, so maybe the Audible version. I love hearing those kinds of things, you know.
Comes to life.
Yeah. And if you haven't read, I told Marie, I said, I don't know if anybody's ever read You Are a Badass. Get the Audible version of that, because that's really good too. Because they have a lot to say.
Does anybody who's on there have something to share with us?
Anybody else?
Anybody have something to share?
Take us off.
Take it off. Should we?
If I could. Why are we not? Ooh. What is going on?
Oh yeah. Well, I've got you guys on here.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think I've posted, but I'm going to read this again. Nancy Joe's 60th birthday is coming up August 26th, and she right now today is unpacking boxes and moving into her new home. And if you're so motivated to send her a birthday card, her new address, I will read it off: 1600 West Marion Avenue, Unit 223, Punta Gorda, Florida, 33950.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can see it or if it comes backwards, but
it probably comes backwards.
Oh, well. Hope you can read backwards. Put a mirror up to the computer. So that's all we have. Thank you guys for participating. If you guys can unmute, let's see, we have something in the chat thing. What's in the chat? Great ideas, Heather. Perfect for new and seasoned consultants and guests. That was from Eileen. Oh, by the way, September meeting. It's the third Monday of September. Right now, we were scheduled to go to a restaurant, but I am going to suggest that we come back here so that we could Zoom, because I don't want to leave the long distance people out.
Oh, yeah.
And now that I know what my travel schedule is, it'll be fine. So yeah, it's the 17th? 17th of September. So we will do it here at my home in Darien. Okay. And just locally that night will end up being our recipe night for our local consultants. So, so the 17th. So thank you everybody for joining us. Patty, I'll go ahead and let you end meeting and end recording.
Oh, Eileen was on. Okay. All right, everybody. Bye. I'm going to end the recording. Bye-bye. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Heather and Melanie, for sharing all of your great tips. Appreciate it. Wait, where's my recording button? Right there. All right, stop.